For over 20 years, I've led a life of solitude and prayer. Now, for the first time in my life, I'm going to Europe. I'm going on a grand tour in search of some of the finest art treasures in the world. Antwerp is a timeless city. It enchants me with its soaring spires and ancient gables. Handsome houses were built by wealthy Flemish merchants, but this is a modest city where Baroque palaces stand shoulder to shoulder with workmen's cottages. Antwerp was once the commercial capital of the Western world. Its golden age produced supreme artists, Bergh, Van Dyck and Rubens, to name but a few. The city has 25 museums, but I want to start with the smallest and perhaps least known, the bergh. It's full of wonders. Here's something I especially love, Christ and St. John, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and we don't even know who carved it. Yet the rarest treasure here is a great masterwork by Peter Bergh. It's an extraordinary picture, weird and surreal, and I'm not altogether sure that I like it. Here we have a charming, picturesque little medieval town, like Antwerp itself, and it's become hell. The air has thickened, it's full of devils and fires, misshapen creatures all around, weapons, people attacking one another, a great sense of human ferocity, things going wrong. And at the center is this figure of Mad Meg. And she's one of the most unforgettable figures I think one can ever see, because you don't feel she's frightened of anything, yet she's advancing with almost an old maid's diffidence. Her men's armor is slung so unskillfully around her. And the loot that she's carrying is such a weird accumulation of things, precious things like that silver casket, and then old saucepans, as though she's just gone collecting in a kind of wild career of accumulation. Now, there have been many theories as to what this picture's all about and who Mad Meg really is. But I think it's all based upon the other large figure, the man. He's wearing the woman's silks and his feet are bare. And he's burdened with this strange ship with its weird cargo. And he's holding that burden on, so he's loaded with responsibility. And with his other hand, he's putting a great shovel into his behind, which has been broken open like an egg, and he's shoveling out, he's excreting coins. So what do we have? The man producing money with labor, bearing the burdens, nonsensical though they are, while the woman roams free and powerful and collects what she wants. Now, I think what Bergh is saying is that when the balance goes wrong, it's hell on earth. Meg isn't a figure out of a nightmare. That gaunt face is strangely arousing our compassion. There's something sad about her. She's lost. And the man sitting on the roof, kind of looking so desperate as he glares into the distance, he's lost too. And until man and woman live together in partnership, then hell comes to earth. The Koninklijk, or Royal Museum, is the most important in Antwerp. This is where one comes to see the best of Flemish art, and the very best is surely Rubens. Who but he would understand the pathos of a frozen Venus? Only Rubens could take a dull, everyday proverb and make it magical. Now, the proverb is that without the god of food and drink, the goddess of love can't function. She freezes. And here you see her, mourning her coldness. There's a glorious kind of goose-bumpy feeling to those acres of flesh. Mind you, a rather silly Venus, because she's actually sitting on a cloak when you want to say, foolish creature, wrap it round you, but she's too lost in self-pity. And there is Bacchus, the god of food and drink, coming in to give her something to eat that's going to warm her up. And she will unfreeze and start loving. Now, this could sound very cynical and materialistic. In actual fact, it's just the opposite. What Rubens is saying is that love is a going out to another. And if you're physically very uncomfortable, then you just can't do it. See, Venus is all wrapped in on herself. She's got her legs knotted up, hands in. She's just enduring the cold. But when the body functions, then the spirit can function and you have love. Rubens had many assistants, and among them was Jacob Jordaens. He's a brass band, of course, compared to a Rubens symphony, but I've discovered that I rather like brass bands. This is the great and dramatic story of the boar hunt. Meleager was prince of the country, and this great savage boar was ravaging the land. And he summoned all the heroes of Greece to come and help him conquer it. And only one person scored a bullseye, and that was Atalanta. Now, this is the scene in which Meleager awarded the trophy to her. And this shows her look. It's love at first sight. And as you can see, the very way Jordaens has painted them, they make a pair. They're both great, hefty, peasant-type lordlings. Jordaens didn't know any aristocrats, so he never tried to paint them. He painted the ordinary Fleming of the day. She's an attractive girl in her very large, discus-throwing kind of form. Now, he is not actually looking at her here. He's looking past her at his uncles, the jealous, defeated ones who are furious that a girl should get the prize and take it away from Atalanta. And Meleager just couldn't bear it. And he sprang forward. You can see he's a hot-tempered young man, and he's already reaching for his sword, and he kills his uncles. Whereupon his mother sees to it that he is killed. And Atalanta, having lost the love of her life, goes home and becomes a foe to man. She initiates a race in which any man who wants her hand has to race her. And if he loses the race, he loses his life. Next week, my grand tour takes me to Berlin.